Peace and blessings. I'm Minister Mustafa Abdullah of the God, Truth, and Love Political Party. The reason for me making this video this evening is to deal with the issue of being fed up and having enough of a bad situation, bad issue, just being fed up. What prompted me to make this video is I was looking at a video online on CNN.com by Anderson Cooper, and he's down in New Orleans, and he's covering something going on down there. They are protesting and gathering whatnot, and supposedly the name of the cause is enough. You know, they're coming together because they have enough of the killings that have taken place thus far this year. It's been 9 so far. I think that really goes back at least to the 10th or so. So it's been 9 killings so far. So the citizens are saying it's enough. Now, like I said, that prompted me to ask you, haven't you had enough? With everything that's going on here in the United States and around the world, haven't you had enough? Some of you might be aware of my political party and what I'm trying to do and what I put forth. And most of the feedback I get back is that people have a hard time believing in what I'm saying and what I'm trying to offer. That I'm unrealistic, that I'm a dreamer, whatnot. But for me, I've had enough. I've had enough of the lies, of the suffering, of struggling to survive. I've had enough of all that. So I'm gathering within myself a belief to get over that, of which I've had enough. There are just so many issues. Since I was speaking of killing, somebody's getting killed every day in one manner or another. But specifically, let's talk about guns. Part of my party is I believe that all lethal weapons should be gotten rid of. To me, there's no need for a weapon, a lethal weapon, in this world. Why was a gun made? Why do we make lethal weapons? It's because we want to be able to beat somebody else. We want to be able to fight and go to war and totally destroy the other person. When really in essence all we want to do is really should just want to stop the other person. I guess you go back hundreds of years when it was prevalent that you would go to another country and overtake it. So you have to wipe everybody out to take over the country. Nowadays we're pretty much set where we're going to be, and all we really need to do is defend ourselves. All we need to do is stop the other person from hurting us, attacking us, hurting our family, friends, whatever. I don't believe even policemen shouldn't have weapons. Does a policeman really need to kill someone? All they need to do is stop them. That's all they need to do is stop them, prevent them from committing a crime or whatever it is. Just stop them. That's all that needs to be done, even at war. All we need to do is stop the terrorist. We don't need to kill them, just stop them. We put so much money and effort in developing these high-tech weapons, and that's another thing I was thinking of. We get more high-tech, more advanced, but as we do this, so does someone else. You know, how far can you go with that? You know, we've already made the most destructive of weapons with the nuclear bombs, where we can literally destroy the whole planet. You know, where can we go with that as we make uh, more stronger body armor and things of that nature? You know, so at some point, you know, we can have armor that it can repel all ammunitions. Okay, then what? Then we have to make stronger ammunition. So it keeps going and going, and like I said, we already had a weapon destroy the whole entire planet. So exactly where are we going as we advance on these weapons? Well, really, all we should be focused at, and this is talking about the United States or every country, is worrying about how to protect our country. You know, instead of making these planes, these stealth bombers to go after other countries, let's make this defense shield. You know, this is going back for you youngsters to going back to Star Wars or Reagan, and make a system to defend this country. That's all we really need to do, is defend this country. We can bring all the troops home from everywhere overseas and concentrate on defending this country, making a system, a force field, whatever. You know, that which we have in our sci-fi movies and books. It can be done if we put forth and we concentrate our efforts on that, instead of worrying about making these weapons we can go over and kill everybody. You know, and it's having enough. And so another aspect of that, I wonder and I question, can you get upset? Should you get upset? Should you get mad when something happens that you don't like and you have done nothing to try to totally solve that problem? Sticking with the weapons. If someone you love gets shot and killed, even possibly your child, is it right for you to be upset after the fact, when I'm putting forth and saying let's get rid of all of them, and you don't want to say, yeah, let's do that? You know, if someone wants to bring up, you know, the right to bear arms, and then something happens, and then as a result of that right to bear arms and everything else, you know, I'm talking about the lethal weapons, someone gets killed, then you want to be upset after the fact. I mean, I question and wonder if that should be, if you should be doing that. You know, President Bush sending more troops. You know, that's our family. You know, my brother is in the army. You know, that's our family and our friends being sent over there to I don't know. I really can't. I really don't know, except to stay the path or whatever, for whatever the path that's obviously not working. He said he admits to his mistakes, and then he's staying with the mistake. You know, let's send more, and there's more to get killed. I mean, I do realize that this is not winnable in the sense of how what we're supposedly fighting, this war on terrorism. I mean, we're talking about ideology, and the more people we kill, the more innocent people we kill, the more people adopt this ideology to want to destroy Americans because of what we're doing. So the enemies that we are gaining now because of what we are doing over there in Iraq, I mean, that's why we're going to be the enemies now. They're going to be classified as terrorists, because now they're going to hate us because of all the people that we killed, the innocent people. And then we're just going to call them terrorists. But they're not terrorists. I mean, they're people. They're hurting, and they're going to be fed up because of what's happening. I mean, haven't you had enough of what this government is putting us through? This so-called leader? And he just keeps feeding into it. I mean, what is like $500 billion at least that has been spent over in this war? What could we have done here at home with that $500 billion. Our school systems, and this is really for minorities. I mean, just think how bad our school systems are in these urban areas. What could that $500 billion have done? What could it have done for the universal health care? You know, when are you going to have enough? And what are you going to do about it? Instead of just saying, I don't like it. You know, what action are you going to take to really do something about it? And how great can you believe that you can do something about it? You know, the famous saying is, every vote counts. But for me, every belief counts. If I can get you to believe, then that's one more person. That's one more person who can enact a change in this world, in this United States. What have you had enough of, and what are you going to do about it? Just think of how we struggle day by day. You know you struggle. I know you struggle. Day by day, getting by, working your 9 to 5. Surviving, not living, you're surviving. But I say, let's get rid of money, and you're like, no, we can't do that. Basically, let's just keep on surviving. Keep on getting by day by day. I saw a statistic that what I think is 750,000 homeless people now. Homeless people and families homeless. Why? Because they don't have the money. But what are they going to do about it? Can I get those 750,000 people to come to my political party? Which I'm saying, if they did, the change I would enact in government is that we provide food, clothing, shelter, and medical for every single person. Can you believe that? Can you at least try to put forth the action and effort to try to make that happen, instead of saying, it's not gonna happen, and just doing nothing in essence. I know you've had enough, but what are you gonna do about it? When are we gonna bring those troops home? When are you gonna have enough of our family and friends getting killed? Our children. And this is really going into, because I went through a video dealing with all the issues of the political party, and just speak freely about each issue, without the statistics and whatnot. Just speaking freely about my ideas. Children, have you not had enough of what we are setting up for our children in the future? If we allow the things to go down a path that they're currently going down, then what is the future for our children? And also brings up the issue of, what does it mean when you say you love your child? What would you do for your child? I don't want my child to have to struggle and to try to survive when they become an adult, to worry about the guns on the street. So for me, my love is saying, I want to do what I can to make this world better. At least try to make it a totally different world for them, so they want to go through the same thing that I went through. So that means getting rid of lethal weapons. That means trying to set up things around the country to help prevent crime, or to help ensure justice, whatnot. For me, that means installing video cameras in all public places. I believe that's one way I can protect my child. Video cameras in all public places. And then somebody wants to say, well, Big Brother and personal freedoms. What happens in public is everybody's business. It's in public. Somebody's gonna see it. So why shouldn't everybody be able to see everything that happens in public? The government can watch everything that happens in public. Something happens, if your child gets kidnapped, think of this, if your child gets kidnapped and there's cameras everywhere, there's nowhere the kidnapper can take your child. They can't hide with them. There's nowhere they can go to hide with them if every public place is seen. Think of that. I mean, you need to think of all sides. Think of the good sides of such an issue. A crime is committed. Then you can see exactly where somebody is. The OJ case could have been solved if there's a camera in all public places, because you could see the killer from there at the house to wherever he went. You can see everything. And the thing is, it also means we need to look at the government too. So be able to watch the government figures and just open things up. I know you had enough, but what are you going to do about it? What will you do about it? So it's my chance to ask you and say, why don't you come aboard? Come aboard my party. Support my party. And let's all say we've had enough and do actually do something to cause a change. You got to believe we can cause a change in this United States, in this world, to make it better. I had a flag back up here, and I know some of you might be aware I made a video where I burned the flag. And the reason I burned it is because of the lie in which it is standing for. I burned it because I said we need to start anew. So I had this new flag behind me. And I'm saying that flag right there represents one nation. That's one nation under God, truth, and love. We need a new beginning, a new start from where we are presently. Because where we're at now is just a bunch of lies, deceit, prejudice, apathy, hate, everything. And this is by our leaders. And so if you don't do anything about it, then can you complain about it? Or you can, but should you? Should you complain? Should you say anything to complain about whatever if you don't actively do anything to cause a serious change? A serious revolution, a total overhaul, and changing the way that everything is done in this world. Should you complain at all? I don't believe so. That's why I'm not, that's why I'm trying to do what I'm doing with this political party. I try to leave all the complaining and moaning and groaning behind and try to actively go out and do something. No matter how hard it may seem, how hard people tell me it is, how ridiculous it might seem to someone else, but it's not to me, because I can believe in it. Because I'm dealing with truth and love. And I don't think it gets any better than that. And so that's why I'll continue on. But what about you? When are you going to have enough? God bless. Peace and love.